Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and I want to show you a new way, at least new to us, of finishing your Kumihimo braid and attaching the clasp. So I have a bracelet here I've done all the beading on, and now I want to attach this clasp. Now, in order to attach a clasp, you need a way of finishing off this braided, unbeaded portion, because if we were just to snip it, all the cords would unravel and you would end up losing your beadwork. You wouldn't be able to actually fit that end into a glue-in cord end, which is what I have here. So we have another video tutorial on Beadaholique.com which shows you the tape method, where you take some Scotch tape, you wrap it around the end, and then you cut it and you fit it into the well here. And then if we have another video that if you have a larger well that you need to fit it into, showing you how to bulk up this braid by winding some extra cord around it. But what if you have a very slim opening, a very narrow well, and you don't want to add too much extra space into it? So sometimes the tape can add a little extra space, or if you have a little looser braid and it can be a tight fit. So this video here is going to show you a new method, which is using glue, which is going to allow you to basically keep the same diameter of your non-beaded braided Kumihimo portion and be able to still secure these threads and then fit it into the well. So what you're going to need for this first part is some crafter's pick glue or another white glue that's going to dry somewhat hard. So we're going to take some of this glue, put it on a Post-it note. And actually, I'm going to peel off this Post-it note as well as two others because I don't want to have any glue get on my surface here. So I'm going to put one on each end because I'm going to have to let this dry once I do this. So I'm just going to take my finger, put some glue on it, and I am going to coat that non-beaded braided portion right up against the beads. Right, and I am squishing it into the braid. I'm actually going to go through now and really press that glue into the cords because I want to glue these cords together, but I also don't want to add any additional bulk, so I'm smoothing it out. And now I'm probably going to end up cutting about here, so I'm making sure I go well past that point. So that part is done. I'm going to do the other side. Exact same way, I just have glue on my finger. And you definitely want to use a glue such as crafter's pick that you can just wash off your fingers. You're not going to want to use any type of E6000 or GS Hypo Cement, anything like that that you wouldn't want to necessarily touch with your fingers. You just want to use something that you can just wash off. All right, so you can see I didn't add any additional width to my braid. And I'm just going to let that dry for about 2 to 3 hours. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to snip it, and I'm going to fit it into my clasp. I've waited several hours, and this is now dried, and I'm ready to attach the clasp. You'll see that the braid actually doesn't look any different. The white glue dried clear, but it is now solid. So I'm ready to trim it with my scissors and add the clasp. Now, this is a glue-in clasp cord end finding, so I'm going to use some E6000 to glue it in place. Now, when you're going to trim the end, you want to make sure you don't trim it any longer than the length of the interior well here. So you can kind of line this up and see about how much space you're going to want to leave. So I'm going to trim this right here. It's about 1/4 inch, if that. And because I've glued the strands together, I can just cut my cord. And you can see it does fray just a little bit, but they're not unraveling, and that is the key. So now I'm going to take my E6000, put a little bit on a Post-it note. I have a eye pin here, just a spare one that was on my table. I'm going to use that to put some glue within the well. And I'm going to be pretty generous. I want this to really glue in there and be secure. Okay, coated the interior of the well. Now I'm just going to take my braid and gently push it in there. To finish the other side of the bracelet, just repeat the exact same process, and then this is what you're going to end up with. And in case you're curious, these are Toho beads, these are Magatamas, and this is a European style large hole bead. And I'm going to type this up as a project so you'll have all the ingredients available for you on Beadaholique.com.